Hey everybody, it's Ty, Old Home Rescue, and in this video, we're gonna be showing you this really cool project we just started working on. It's a 1940s house, and we're doing a major siding restoration. This is something I was always kind of a little bit worried about until I saw a really great video from Bob Yap from his show several years ago about them doing siding restorations in Missouri. And so I'm really excited. If you want to check that video out, I put the link in the description below. But yes, it's a 1940s house. We're doing a siding restoration. And Morgan, do you want to kind of come tell us more about what we're doing here?
All right, so today is demo day, but not in the way that you may see it on a lot of your popular HGTV DIY shows. We're doing demo day to remove what was added to the house as a promise for maintenance free, but really it's hit the end of its life cycle, and we're taking that off and restoring the siding that's underneath it, and where it's damaged too much, we're going back with Akoya siding.
Yeah, so I'm going to take this off the tripod, and you just want to show us what we're working on and the progress we made so far?
Yeah, let's take a look around.
We're good.
All right, so the main part of this project is going to be siding restoration. But while we're here, we're also addressing a number of other things, from sill, trim rot, and going ahead and doing the painting of the house, as well as painting the windows and some aluminum storm windows. So let's come up here and take a look at probably one of the biggest problem areas of...
Watch out for the branch.
Yep, sorry, I flicked it right at you. Probably one of the biggest problem areas of the house has this little bump out kind of bay area. And on this side, they have the aluminum siding here with the original backer on it, but they've come back in at some point in time and added styrofoam because there was an issue. They've already gone through once of rot here, and they've added this new exterior casing to cover that up.
What was on top of this? I mean, I see the foam, but what was on top of it?
We got just this rolled aluminum.
How thick is that stuff?
Like a Coke can.
Oh, okay, like a Coke can.
Those are your corner caps. But they come back in and didn't even address priming the wood underneath it. That's all this was covering it up. With the promise of maintenance free, but as you can see in the new wood that they had added, it's already starting to rot, and there's a tight angle over here, but this is the stuff that they're covering up underneath it. So let's, underneath all of this, the majority of this house is all in great shape. Nice beveled siding that really it just needed paint, and somebody probably knocked on the door one day and promised maintenance free, or they were doing this back addition on the house and gave the promise of maintenance free, covered it up instead of going through the repainting process. Well, let's come take a look at this, what's been covered up. Tight angle, but this siding has just been, holy cow. This is what's going on whenever you just cover things in aluminum and vinyl and without addressing the issues underneath.
Get in there real quick, because that is, so there's no siding on top of any of this.
There's no siding. They didn't care to put anything back underneath.
No moisture barrier.
They threw a 2x4 in, tacked everything back up, and called it good. And you can see up above the rot as well.
Man, this just really isn't doing it justice, but there's nothing back there.
So with our demo, we're gonna go through, remove all of this siding. We're gonna go through and remove all the siding, get it back down to this level, and then house wrap any areas of concerns, go through our HP process here in Oklahoma City, and then get everything approved to go back as this house originally looked.
You wanna walk us around the back so we can see the remaining scope of the work? And I think we got Patrick over here working.
Yeah. So Patrick is going around getting some aluminum storm windows off for us right now.
Now, what are we doing as far as the storm windows? Are we putting aluminums back, or
we are doing new aluminum storm windows.
New aluminum storm windows
from
Provia?
Yeah, Provia storm windows, a lot of them because the windows are painted shut. It's not something that he was worried about getting them opened up right now, but so we're doing some aluminum picture windows, and then in areas that still do open up, we're doing some of their Concord series that are triple tracks. Even underneath here, this trim has been really, honestly, protected in some ways, but really just in need of priming, painting, scraping, and getting it back to like it looked before. As we walk this way,
so I'm gonna get back here, because this whole side, you've got the main part of the house, which you can see here on this gable.
Yeah.
And then you've got an addition that happens right here at that
Yes.
line.
So right here is our scene, and underneath this back is a 1970s-ish addition, and underneath this aluminum siding is nothing but the sheathing underneath. And so this is where we're going to make a dividing line, and we've heard it really well described from a local architect that you don't want to fake history.
Yeah.
You want to honor, or you want to honor in spirit how it was made at the time, or the additions that are on these old homes. So, like I said, we're running that beveled siding, replacing where needed with a Koya. Up to this point, we'll add a trim piece, and then from here back, we're gonna do some smooth Hardy board.
Okay, so we're using Hardy board, which is a sustainable, long-lasting fiber cement.
Yeah, and HP really likes it in instances where it does make sense on these back additions and things like that.
Now this molding right here, this is really nice on the frieze. We've got some kind of like a crown. Are we keeping that?
Yeah, so we're gonna keep all of the original trim on the outside. We're not gonna go with replacing any of that. There are replacement pieces of that crown still that we can get locally made. But
on the back, we're just going to do the smooth fiber trim.
Yeah, when it comes to the back, we're just going to keep everything hardy on this side of it and honor what this may have looked like when it was first built.
Nice, nice. I guess we can continue on around. So on the back, we've got just some kind of glass. These kind of are like some homemade sash. We got some homemade sash.
Yeah.
What are we doing as far as the windows are concerned?
Just speaking of the windows, like you said, this is the difference between an old school window manufacturer and somebody making it in a cabinet shop. Is this joint right here is hard to recreate in a cabinet shop.
Oh yeah,
because they're just taking a router with an OG profile and they have to router that corner. But when you have to cope it, that's where it gets difficult.
We're not gonna change those sashes out, those windows.
No, these windows are gonna stay, but this brick mold is a traditional style brick mold.
Where does brick mold belong at?
On brick. Typically found on brick or masonry houses. So we'll probably go once we get this uncovered and get a little bit better idea of what's underneath. We'll go with the
Hardy trim on here too.
Hardy trim, like in a 1x4.
Yeah.
Something to stay consistent with a siding home. But what we're dealing with here is this is a locally available in like your big box stores, finger jointed brick mold.
You can see how the finger joining kind of prematurely fails. Like all the failure begins right at the joint.
And with proper maintenance, it can be used outside.
Yeah.
But it's not something that we ever want to take a risk with because of the fact that all it has to do is open up one crack.
Right.
And then it's going to start swelling and bringing that water in.
We're gonna have some fun with the.
Yes. A lot of the utilities up there on this
I don't know if I bring that up. We can talk about how we solve that later.
Yep. That's not a today solve.
On the windows, on the original windows, you got some beautiful like 6x6 here.
Yeah.
What are we doing with these? Anything?
So the main thing we're doing with the 6x6s is just maintenance and then repairs as needed. We're gonna come through and paint. We're gonna scrape to the first sound layer on the window trim and oil prime it so that it soaks into that old wood, and then we're gonna coat it with 2 coats of a water-based alkyd urethane paint, and that's gonna be all the way around on the original wood windows. But the main repair that we're making on the windows themselves is working on these sills.
Oh, let's see those sills.
We have several windows that the sills are just rotted out, and a lot of times that's due to the failure of the fasteners in between the sill and your subsill.
We'll smell that tomato plant.
Yeah, this tomato plant is. So a lot of times this subsill starts to fail because the fasteners between the sill and the subsill have detached or started to slip apart from each other.
Yeah.
And it creates, instead of about a 7-degree angle here in our region, it creates like a 0 to 2 degree angle.
Well, it creates a spot where water is able to set and then go backwards, and you can see that.
And it holds it in the corners, and it runs down there. And so we're gonna come in and replace both of those sills with an Akoya sill.
Cool. Okay, and so this window is on the front of the house. I know we're not doing anything with the shutters. What are we doing with this 6/6?
So again, with this one, we're gonna be touching the subsill right here that is rotted out, and then replacing this piece of glass, reglazing it in. And if you want to check out more about glazing one of your windows, you can click this button here. And if you want to support our mission, click the subscribe button.